Hello and welcome to my blog, life on one word, shoreandbeach.blogspot.com. This week I'm going to be talking about the application for the wind farm again, because it is a key local issue and I feel it's one that needs to be covered in detail. But before I talk about that, I wondered if you've been to the Hawth Theatre in Crawley yet. We've been on several occasions over the years and always enjoyed our time there. The theatre itself is set in 38 acres of woodland. There's ample parking and picnicking space. And although it's already 25 years old, it feels very fresh and new inside. And the foyer is incredibly spacious. So if you turn up with a large group of children, they can run around quite freely before having to go and sit down for an hour or so to watch a performance. So it's very family friendly, but also the quality of the performances and the acts they have that is superb. So far we've seen the English National Ballet with My First Ballet, where the children were encouraged to dress up as ballerinas, and the boys were encouraged to dress up as princes. We went to see the Royal Philharmonic Orchestra introducing instruments to the orchestra. And last week we went to see the Terrible Tudors, which was part of the Horrible Histories team, and that was absolutely great fun. I don't know if you've seen the Horrible Histories on telly, but if you have, you'll be familiar with their brilliant songs. I had great fun researching the songs for this blog yesterday. In fact, I got way carried away with it and had to sort of draw a line. But I am going to give you a link to one of my favourite songs, which is about the Georgian kings, and I think it's called The Four Georges, and they're described variously as sad, bad, mad and fat. And the last one, the fat one, is the Prince Regent, who was responsible for building the Brighton Pavilion and effectively putting Brighton on the map. Now, we were there this Saturday as well. We moseyed on into town, had to do a bit of shopping, but then went on towards the Theatre Royal to see if there was anything interesting going on with the Brighton Festival. We were not disappointed. Brighton fizzes during the Brighton Festival, and it becomes completely outrageous when you go into Fringe City. Although Brighton Festival is a huge international event in itself, Brighton Fringe is one of the largest fringe festivals in the world, and of course most of it's street entertainment, and you just mosey on down, you'll see outrageous costumes, bump into a poet who for a donation will tell you a story or a poem. Tom listened to a story about fiction meeting truth. We then wandered further down towards the library and stopped and joined a huge crowd that were listening to a band playing Beach Boys covers. So if you have got an opportunity to go into Brighton, any time between now and the 26th of May or the 2nd of June, do go, because you'll be astonished at how the city is being transformed, well, it does transform itself for the festival. Right, going back onto much duller issues now, but incredibly important, the Rampion Off-shore Windfarm Proposal. Now, as I mentioned in my last blog, they have submitted new plans, and the key question then becomes, will we get to know about them and will we be able to comment on them? In theory, we should get to know about them. The public consultation starts on the 13th of June and finishes on the 8th of August. I say should get to know about them because this time last year, we were in the same situation where E.ON applied for the offshore wind farm proposal, and it seemed to be the best kept secret in Sussex. Everybody I spoke to in Brighton, Hove, Worthing just didn't know anything about it at all, and it was only until I started taking direct action that people became much more aware of it. That's why I'm going to be featuring it on the blog until the end of the consultation period. Now, what you need to look out for round about the 13th of June are things like these possibly coming through your front door. That's what you're looking for, okay? All right, so Sussex, we want to hear from you. But Sussex, we want to hear from you, okay? And it will be addressed to the occupier. So if you see anything like this, don't bin it, okay? Because that will be where you will find out about the offshore wind farm proposal, because they're not going to advertise it in the most obvious places. Well, they didn't last time. And also, you want to be looking for things like this in the local library. That's the non-technical summary, okay? Yeah, quite widely defined as non-technical. And then this document as well. That's the actual proposal document, okay? Bright red, can't miss it if you see it on the library. If you can take home a copy, take it home because it's huge to look on the internet. Now, anything to do with a wind farm is huge, including the environmental impact assessment report. And that's the real detail, the real nitty-gritty about what the effect could be on the local environment. So it's in that report that you'll find things like, will we be able to see the wind farm from where we are? Will it affect the wave currents? Will it affect the quality of the water? Will I still be able to use my mobile phone? Will we be able to see more commercial shipping because they have to come in front of the wind farm? How is it going to affect fishing? How is it going to affect tourism? All of that detail is in the environmental impact assessment report, and what I'm going to do is take a little part of that each week and just try and decipher it, really, because the language they use is not user-friendly. For example, we are called visual receptors. We're not called local people, we're called visual receptors. So when they analyse what effect the wind farm is going to have on the seascape, they talk in terms of visual receptors being affected by. So I'm going to try and start deciphering it and then bringing you the main points so that when you are able to make your, are asked to give your view on the wind farm proposal, it will be as formed as it possibly can be. Okay, well, enough of that. I'll go back upstairs and start deciphering some more of the EIA, and I will see you next Tuesday. Have a great week and take care. Bye. Hello and welcome to my second video blog. I'm Liz Coward and this is a blog. No, it's not. Hello and welcome to my blog. I'm Liz Coward and this is the blog of life on, one word, hyphen, shoreandbeach.blogspot.com. Now last week I made reference to the Rampion Offshore Windfarm Proposal, which is the proposal for 175 up to 175 wind turbines off the coast of Sussex. E.ON, who are behind the application, submitted fresh proposals earlier on this year. No.